Okay, it's time to get my next special guest here on the Danny Sun radio show. Danny Sun proudly presents on his next feature. We have Sydney Youngblood. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
It's great, and he's on a video conference call all the way from Germany, I believe.
Yeah, Germany, so near Frankfurt, Heidelberg, you could say.
Oh, very nice. I know where that is. And Sydney Youngblood. How did you come up with with that name? Is that your real name or just a stage name?
It's not actually a stage name, but my grandmother gave me that name. Um, she she's a Cherokee Indian, and I was always getting into being mischievous and getting into trouble, so that's how I got the name
Oh,
Youngblood.
oh, great. And am I right? You served in Germany with the U.S. Army as well back in the 80s.
Sure did. I joined the army because actually I was a big Queen fan, and I wanted to come to Germany, Munich, because that's where the Queen recorded their albums. So I wanted that was my only way to get to Germany to join the army, and so that's how I got to Germany and stayed here. So I'm almost 40 years now.
Fascinating. And your first hit was a cover version of a Bill Withers classic, "Ain't No Sunshine." And
Yeah,
did you play flute on the song as well?
yeah, yeah. I did. Well, um, I was also I loved the musician Herbie Mann and Ian Anderson. So um, that was one of my first songs I ever was to play. Ain't No Sunshine was on the flute, so I love playing the song.
Wow, that's so interesting. And of course, your international hit, "If Only I Could." The lyrics in that song,
Right.
yeah, they're so powerful, the lyrics, aren't they? So meaningful.
No, thank you.
And it's such a crowd pleaser as well. Whenever I see you perform that on say YouTube, everyone's clapping along, happy, singing.
That's true. That's true. And still today, I'm really glad that there's still radio stations
Yeah.
and they're still playing the song, and I'm really honored.
Yes, so that's wonderful. And it samples a drum pattern from "Break for Love" by Rays. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. I was a big fan of the song, and it never actually was a big hit. So I figured, well, why don't we just borrow it? So we just sampled the drum loop, and it turned out fantastic. But he got his points
Yeah,
out also. We won.
that's all good. I like your extended version of that as well because it lasts for 6 minutes. So it's
Yeah.
got a good build up. I really like the extended 12-inch
thank,
version as well. It's really good.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. And was "If Only I Could" was it popular in the Balearic Islands? You know, Spain, Mallorca, and Ibiza in 1989 during those times.
Well, actually, it all still. Actually, if only I could really got me kicked off in the UK, but the basic and the style of the song, it did come from Ibiza,
Yeah.
Ibiza with the Balearic and with with the Spanish guitar, and that was the drive behind the song. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. And do you remember doing your performance in England on Top of the Pops? You opened up Top of the Pops.
Oh, oh yes, yes, and so memorable. And I remember that the record company they were scared that the microphone was going to drop because I just walked off and the microphone was
Yeah,
tilted back and forth. But I enjoyed it because it was one of the shows I always wanted to be on,
great.
and the dream did come true.
Oh, that's lovely. And not only do you sing, you do a bit of visuals, some nice, smooth, suave dance moves. Very agile on stage on that performance as
Yeah,
well. That's very good.
yeah. Thank you.
And not forgetting your other hits as well. You had hits with "Sit and Wait" and "I'd Rather Go Blind."
Yes, yes. I mean, I'd rather go blind was a song that my mother and father would always dance to, like on the Sundays, and I always watched them dance to that song. And I wanted to do a rather go blind in my own style, and that was the reason why it was for me a good cover for my first album. So
Oh
why
wow,
not?
impressive. And am I right? That was originally by Etta James.
Right, right. Written by E. Jordan, but Etta James, you can never forget that version, and that's it's kind of hard when you're doing a cover and not ruining the song itself. But I think I did pretty well with that one. It did reach to the states,
Yeah.
and I'm really proud of that.
Yes, that's good. And people may not know that you're an actor and a composer as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I play, different instruments, and yeah, and I love, yeah, acting and being a fool, playing around. So, that's just me.
Yeah. So we're chatting more about the 80s and into the
Yeah.
90s. Did you like the 90s era? You know, the R&B kind of vibe, Bobby Brown, and of course Mark Morrison. You did your own version of Mark Morrison.
Ah, yes, Return of the Mac.
Yes.
Yes, I love that song. It influenced me. That's why I figured, oh, why not cover it? Some disc jockey asked me, hey, you feel like doing that song? And I said, yeah, it's one of my favorite songs of the '90s. So we decided to do it, and I really enjoyed singing it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, very catchy version as well.
Yeah,
And a
true.
couple more. Did you appear on the 12th season of I'm a Star, Get Me Out of Here?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. I didn't last too long, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was, but it was kind of weird for me because they kidnapped me out of my room out from my wife, and we usually say goodbye to each other. That time without saying goodbye to her, I felt like something might bad happen to her, so I wasn't feeling so well
Yeah.
in the jungle. So, but I held out pretty well. 5 days, that was good enough.
That's good, yeah. And do you know you influence our UK artists as well? We also have an English actor, singer, songwriter called Youngblood.
Oh,
His name is Dominic Richard Harrison, but he goes by the name of Youngblood, Youngblud. So you've inspired
oh,
him.
hey, oh, great! I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's good.
That's good to hear.
And finally, what would you like to say to your UK followers and fans?
Oh, well, I get to see you because there is a tour being planned where there'll be Spandau Ballet or Howard Jones. Hopefully, with this pandemic, if it's all good, then we will see each other this year, if not next year. And I will be there doing the greatest songs of the '80s.
Great. So I've got my double fingers crossed, and my toes double
Yeah,
crossed as well for you and all the
yeah,
artists. So
we
that's good.
will.
Well, Sydney Youngblood, it's been an absolute pleasure interviewing you on the Dennison radio show feature,
Thank
and
you.
all the best with what you do, your music and your career as well. Keep singing and
Thank
showing
you
us
so
those
much.
moves as well. Thank you. Lovely.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.